So you want goats? Hi goat lovers, Marianne from Goat Talk. Today we are going to discuss how to start a goat farming business.
Tonight.
About a year and 6 months ago, I'm on YouTube, seeing all these homesteaders with goats. And I want a goat. I want to know how to start with goats, but I'm scared. If I start with goats, what breed? Dairy, meat? I don't know. What do you feed goats? I don't know. How do you keep goats? I don't know. Maybe you are thinking to start with goats, but you're not sure. Well, I started 1 year and 6 months ago, and I'm going to share everything with you today. So I think the most important thing before you buy any goat is to know that you must have fences that will keep a goat herd. So this is my fences. And you are going to ask me now, but Marianne, why the tires? So I'm using fox wire. It doesn't matter what wire you use, because I have learned the tires for me is very important, and I'll show you why. I've used this wire, but you can see it's not goat proof because their head, they push it through, and with their horns they break the wire. So this is not goat proof. So the large goats are heavy and they like to stand on things. So when they stand on the tire goes down, so there's nothing hard to stand on to go over the fence. So that is why I use tires. All my goat pens, I've used a lot of tires, but it's really not one of my goats ever was an escape artist. This is keeping them in the goat pens. So number 2, are you going to breed them yourself? If that is the case, you need a strong pin for your buck. The buck is only allowed with the does when it's breeding time. So yeah, you need to keep him inside. So this is my back pin. So I've got small pins for my does that will be kidding, because I want my doe and her kid to bond for at least a month. This is my pin for my does. There are 15 does that are pregnant in this pin, and they will kid the end of September. So this is my kid pin. The girls are more or less 4.5, 5 months old now, but they must be at least 36 kilograms to 40 kilograms before they can be bred. I've got a pin for the girls. They are almost a year. They've been bred for the first time, and their kids will be due March, April this year. This is a separate pin for a mother and beast. He was the last one born last year. I've got a tap in every pin because it's important. Your goats need fresh water every day. So for me, it's easy to just open the tap and there's fresh water. So goats need shelter. They are hardy, but they hate rain. They hate to be wet, just like you and me. So they need good shelter. It doesn't matter what kind of shelter, you need to protect them from wind and rain. So this is the little boys. Good morning. And this is all the girls again with the big goat house. You don't need a big goat house. You only need something to protect your goats. Yeah, the goat feeders. They sleep in it as well. So you don't need an expensive goat house. I use second-hand corrugated roofing. I use second-hand poles. I use rusted square tubings. And that's all your goat need, because they only need to be protected from the wind and the rain. So the next thing you need to decide, are you going to feed your goats grain, hay? Are they going to pasture? It depends on the land you've got available. Miss Koliki is pregnant. Most of them are, and I think she's going to have triplets. She still needs to go 2.5 months. I feed my goats weekends. They get alfalfa, a good quality, and every day I give them a grain mixture in a pellet form. It's 4 types of grains mixed, and yes, there's supplements in, and that is what I feed my goats. So goats are grazers, and they need long leaves, and that is why I planted 1 hectare of NutriFeed, and for 1 hour each day the separate little herds is in the NutriFeed, and that's more than enough for them, because I feed them with the pearls, and in the morning they get vegetable peels. They love to taste the fences. So how much land do you need to start with goats? It depends what you want to do. It depends on your pastures. Are you going to feed them? What you're going to do? I only have 2.5 hectares and I've got 40 goats. And you can see my goats are in good quality. And yeah, so it is possible. If you only have a small acreage or 2 or 3, to start with a goat business. Mountain goats, wild goats. Then the goats that we use on the farms. There are lots of breeds like Boer, Savannah, San and dairy goats. What do you want? Meat goats, dairy goats? You decide. So how do you start? Where do you start? I will say start with commercial goats. Registered goats are 3 times more expensive than commercial goats. I think start with commercial goats. Learn everything. If you've got a passion, you can learn everything about goats, and then maybe you can sell your commercial goats and then start with registered goats, because they are very expensive. Remember, goats are sociable. So you can't buy just one. It will be depressed and it will break the fences because it's unhappy. You need at least 2 or 3 or 10 or 40. So where do I start? At auctions. On Facebook, there are lots of goat farmers that sell their goats. Auctions, every week there's an auction. Go and buy 2 goats and start. You will love it. Remember, goats are super easy to care for. Just remember, they're sociable. You can't just have one. You need at least two. Smile and they will be happy. So goats need love. I hope you've learned something. Please like and share and subscribe this video. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.